Guys, as you can see, this is everything that we bought on our trip to Las Vegas. Now, as you would have already seen, you've seen us visiting the Summerlin store. You've seen us go over to Bricks and Minifigs down in just outside of Las Vegas. And you've also, by the time that this video comes out, have seen us go to the Fashion Show Mall as well. So this is everything that we bought minus one thing, which I've left at home. But this is everything that we bought. So I'm going to give us a quick rundown on all of the kind of retired bits that we've picked up, some of the newer sets that we've picked up. We've also got a couple of Creator 3-in-1 sets that are actually retired that we managed to pick up on the shelf. So let's get into it. I'll talk you through a bit of everything, and then by the time we get to the end, I'll let you know just how much we spent on all of this. So we're going to start over here. As you can already see, we've got quite a variety of different genres or series of Lego, if you want to say. We've got some of the BrickHeadz, we've got some new BrickHeadz, we've got some slightly older BrickHeadz, all still pretty new though. We've then got a GWP that a lot of people have really struggled to get hold of. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of it, but hey, we love a GWP. Then we've got some other GWPs. Now, we had to buy these. Obviously, they are clearly long gone and long retired now. And then just at the bottom there, we've got a little tribute to the Lego house. So we're going to go through them. Oh, actually, and hiding at the back there, I forgot about that one. We've got the Hedgehog's picnic date that Mrs. TTB, Mrs. L, just couldn't leave there. She had to bring it home. So we started with that one. BrickHeadz, as you can probably tell, we're a big fan of the BrickHeadz, so we just had to pick some up. So there we went with the Red Panda. If anybody has not seen that film, it's a really good film. Like a really, really good film with a really good message, especially for young girls. We then went with Eeyore, standard. Dumbo. Who doesn't love a bit of Dumbo? That was just a little speed champion. So that came as a GWP when the F1 stuff first came out. So I was quite excited to find that in Bricks and Minifigs. It's actually still got the price on the back. So we paid $6.99 for that, which is about £5 UK. It's about what you'd pay for a normal poly bag. But yeah, so that's the 499 hypercar. I'm kind of looking forward to building that. I love the fact that it's actually in a poly bag as well, not a paper one. Again, some more BrickHeadz. So, okay, so we got the Iron Man Mark V. We got Clone Commander Cody, which I'm sure Mrs. L will be building that because it's Star Wars related, and as we all know, Mrs. L loves a bit of Star Wars. And then obviously we went for, it should be out here as Iron Spider-Man. So we've got Iron Spider-Man. In the same series as this is the Potted Groot. Now we do have Potted Groot right here, so it's kind of fitting that you've got Potted Groot on the back. So I think we'll have to put Potted Groot and Spider-Man together. So that is kind of cool. When we first started really collecting Lego and when the BrickHeadz came out, can honestly say I was a massive fan of them. I don't know why, they weren't the norm for me. They were a bit different. They were not what I was used to. Okay, I am a child born of the 80s, and I was your big bricks and nothing much else. But I really, really, really have fallen in love with BrickHeadz, as you can tell. Mrs. L to thank for that, because Mrs. TTB most definitely put me into, getting me on board with all of them. So, and we've got quite a few of them now. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We've got over 20 on the shelves there. We've still got some at home as well. So yeah, plenty of the BrickHeadz. Just going to move them off to the side a second. I'll leave that right there. We'll move that. Yeah, so GWP wise, brand new GWP that's actually now done, dusted, sold out, gone. Especially by the time this video comes out anyway, which was, is it Coral Garden or Coral Reef Diorama? Yeah, from a colour point of view, I think it is pretty beautiful. From looking at the back, though, I think my opinion has just changed on what I was about to say. I love a piece reuse. or a reused piece, shall we say. So you'll know we've got, you can't quite see but off camera, but I'll show you. So the succulents that use the hairbrush. You've got the butterflies, you know, these are all part of the succulent range. The flat caps, if you love a flat cap, you've got a flat cap and a succulent. So you know how much I love a piece being reused in a different way. And I've just noticed on the back of this, whether you guys are going to be able to tell, but what I'll do is I'll do a zoomed in shot and I'll cut it in just so that you can see the actual back. But there's some lovely purple carrots there. Now, the last time we got to reuse purple carrots was in the galaxy, or the Milky Way galaxy. And I remember Mrs. L building that, and I was blown away by the different pieces that are used in that. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Not that I can see. Controversially, I don't know whether we'll ever build it. It may be one that just stays in the box and on the shelf, depending. We'll see if it appreciates much. Because I don't really see it taking pride of place in a city anywhere. Unless we ever get to the point where we do a little bit of an undersea. Or an aquarium. Yeah, we could do maybe an aquarium or something like that. But we'll see. But anyway, yeah, so this was a GWP on spends of over $135. I'm not sure what it was in the UK, because obviously we were in the US at the time. So kind of gives you an inclination of just how much we spent in an official Lego shop to get that. Now, some exciting bits. So these are all limited edition, GWPs. So there we have the wintertime carriage ride. Now this wasn't, I'll be brutally honest, one I missed. I missed it on the shelf. This was, Mrs. L was wandering around with me, put this in my hand and went, yes, we need this, please. And I'm kind of glad, because I think when it comes to doing I don't necessarily think we're ever going to do a full winter village, but I think when we get round to doing maybe a winter scene, that this will most definitely be used. Or it may be another one that stays in the box for now and see how it appreciates. But yeah, no, I'm pretty cool, pretty excited with that one. Wasn't cheap. I think that came in at around $40. As a matter of fact, no, it's on the bottom. I take it back. So this was actually $30. So Bricks and Minifigs, it was $30. It was, I think it was retired in 2020. It came out as a GWP in 2023. So it was only around for a limited time. So there's that one. And then second to last, massive fan of anything to do with this guy. So this is Jules Verne. For anybody that knows anything or doesn't know anything about Jules Verne, it's worth looking up. If you're a fan of Disney, you will know a little bit about Jules Verne. You will know some of the rides at the Disney parks are kind of based on loosely, or not even loosely, on some of his story. So for me, this was, as soon as I saw it, had to be bought. I actually put it down as we were walking around, because I was filming some footage, and I put it down, and by the time I got back to it, it had gone. I was absolutely gutted. And then about 5 minutes later, Mrs. L comes running over, and it had just been moved shelves. So somebody had clearly picked it up, moved it along the shelf. I managed to pick that up for $40, again at Bricks and Minifigs. So in their retired section, this was a must purchase for me. The box, bearing in mind all this has been transported back to the UK, the box is magic condition. There's no dents, there's a tiny little bit of fade on the side of the box there. But again, it's been lumped around in a suitcase, so what do you expect? Now, this one, I can't decide. It was again, Mrs. L pointed this out. I had seen it, but this was a case of it has to happen. We have to get it. And when I tell you how much for, you will be utterly bemused. I know I was. How much we paid for this. I still can't believe it reading the bottom now. That's crazy. So this is the tribute. It is the tribute to the Lego house. So on here, there's some different elements for different pieces that are tributes to the Lego house. You've got, on the front here, you've got the original wooden duck, bearing in mind. So that was the first toy that the Lego company ever created. Long before the bricks, it was wooden toys. Then, as we move slightly on, we then have the injection moulding machine. So that is the kind of replica of all the machines they use today to create all of these amazing bricks that we love to create and collect and build and destroy and build again. That is amazing. They then have the Lego dinosaurs. So there's 3 along the top here, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them built. I know I won't get to build them because I am not the dinosaur builder in this relationship. And then we have here on the left hand side, now I can't remember if it's called the Tree of Life or the Tree of Creativity. It is the Tree of Creativity, there we go. So that is the Tree of Creativity. Now inside the Lego house in Billund, there is the big Tree of Creativity. It looks immense. If I can find some unlicensed stock content, I'll insert it here just so you guys can see it. If not, I'll definitely try and find an image at least. Because it is unbelievable. On the branches, you can't really see from here, but this is a very small diorama aspect of it. The actual big tree has like full, almost small cityscapes on the branches and stuff like that, so it's really cool. But for me, this is probably the prize pick of the lot, apart from what we're going to talk about over here. And this is purely from a price point. It's not the prize pick of the set. It is from a price point you won't believe what we've paid for some of this. But for this, it was $20. $19.99 plus tax, so you're looking at $22. That, for me, for a set that was 2022, I think, came out. It was never purchasable either. It was kind of an exclusive GWP of spends of over, I think it was like 250. It was quite a high ticket item. But for me, to get my hands on that, you know, it's nice. It's still got the cellophane on it. The box is in unbelievable condition. That dent there will most definitely have happened in the suitcase on the way back. Again, shout out to the guys at Bricks and Minifigs. Unbelievable. Hospitality to the nth. So that's that side of the world done. Just going to move these quickly back across. As we were saying, more BrickHeadz. Optimus Prime, had to get it. It was there in the Lego store in Summerlin. We bought that. So we picked that up in Summerlin, and obviously to go with that, we had to get his compadre Bumblebee. So there's Bumblebee. We got the suitcase. It seemed fitting. We were on our travels. We've got the suitcase. Now we just need to get the minifigs. There's a reason I've not bought the minifigs, because the first minifig I want to buy is going to be the pirate that's only available in Billund. I could have had the other two, and I know I could buy them and say I've not bought them and then get them eventually. I don't like doing things like that. I kind of like to stick to what I say. The same reason we got our passports. We got our passports stamped, and our first kind of place we wanted to do that was in Vegas. Now we can get the rest of the world. Trust me, Mr. TTB's already been looking all night last night because he couldn't sleep at places that we could potentially go on extreme day trips to visit some of these places. Mrs. TTB is shaking her head behind the camera. You can't see this, but I can promise you now, this year, there's going to be some rather big surprises for Mrs. TTB. She just doesn't realise it yet. So yeah, so that was a cool little find, and we had to get that. Slight caveat to this, I didn't actually buy this out there, okay? I bought this over here, and I was going to build it on the plane as we were flying over. Now, I don't know whether this is a new thing or not, but KLM quite loudly said it quite a few times that they do not now allow filming on their planes unless you have prior consent from the crew. Now, I think that's more so people who then start getting their phones out and wandering around and things like that. I was very much just going to film straight down onto building this. But you know what? To save any arguments and ultimately to respect people's privacy, I decided not to build it. That was on me. I know I told a lot of people that I said can't wait because I'm going to build it when I'm on the plane. But they were quite stern about it. They laid the law down a few times, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to push it. We enjoyed the flight. We had a really good time on KLM. I'd most definitely fly KLM Royal Dutch again. So yeah, shout out to the staff. Were brilliant as well, to be fair. The staff were really, really good. So yeah, I've added that into this haul just purely because it was part of the overarching Vegas haul. But yeah. Right. I know. It's not all of them, and it's not in a big box. I had every intention of going out to America to buy the big limited edition collector's box that gave you all of these Speed Champions with a limited edition poster. And do you think I could find it or get it anywhere? The answer was no. It also seems by looking online that quite a few people, it has still not been released, which to me is really bemusing. It was meant to be an Amazon exclusive. Nobody's actually received it yet. And these have been out since March. And we're now, probably by the time of publishing this, the 1st of May. Well, actually, it'll be past the 1st of May. It'll be, you know, probably the 7th of May by the time this video goes out. But, yeah. So I had to start somewhere. So where did we start? Well, we started with my team. It's always been my team. It will always be my team. That's Ferrari. We then went... It seemed right to go with the RB. We went with the Red Bull Racing just purely because we've got the SF24 that we want to pick up and the RB20 that I want to pick up, the big Technic scale sets that will be picked up next month probably because the price is falling out of them. £161 at the moment I've seen them for. So give it another month, they might be even slightly cheaper. And then obviously we then had to pick it up. Mrs. L decided that she really loved the Mercedes A. Is it still AMG Petronas, or have we... Yeah, it's still the AMG Petronas team. And then which one did I pick up? I'm hoping I picked it up. Right, okay, so this is... I'm an OG F1 fan. This looks nothing like a Frank Williams car, but this is the Williams team. So for me, that was a good kind of place to start. So we're going to be building our starting grid. Shout out to a massive fan of TTB who has already started building his, and he actually sent me a video last night. He's actually started building a starting grid as well, so shout out to you, Dickie. I am pretty jealous, I'm not going to lie, although I still think you need to try and motorise that track, but we'll see where we get to on that. So yeah, F1 Speed Champions has started. Right, pick a brick. Let's talk about pick a brick. Salt and pepper set, anybody? And I am actually going to open them because I want to show you. Oh, do I do it? Shall I just rip the box? Shall I just rip the box? Oh, it feels a bit wrong. It feels a bit wrong, but we're just going to rip the box and we're going to throw it. So these, I had to buy these. Am I going to put salt and pepper in them? Probably not. Am I going to put them on display here? Probably. But they stack. Come on, as Lego bricks, salt and pepper Lego bricks, who doesn't love that? These are probably going to have to stay here now, and then I will buy 2 more for home, because what you can't see behind the camera is Mr. TTB just pulled an almighty face when I said that these are not going home, so I'm going to have to buy 2 more. But yeah, I thought they were so cool. And again, $6, I think, it's a really small purchase amount. Right, pick a brick. So we had a really good time with the pick a brick. As you can see, we got 3 larger boxes, 1 smaller box. What I'll do is I will cut some footage in now. Once this table's clear, I'll bring the camera across and I'll cut some footage in purely because I don't want to start tipping it out in front of all of this. There's some cool elements. There's some unique elements that I've never seen before on a pick-a-brick wall, and I know they're always adding new stuff, but I think we managed to get some 4x4 grey plate as well, which is phenomenal because the city is starting to make better sense in my head of how we're going to do it. There's a video coming up probably in a couple of weeks on how that is actually going to take shape. We're going to be kind of doing custom tables, so that's going to be the next step in that. We're going to do some custom wooden tables. So I'll cut some footage in of this now. Okay, so as if by magic, as I said, this is the footage just cut in of some of the pick-a-brick elements that we managed to get. So as you can see, as I was talking about, we got those lovely 4x4s with some unbelievable stacking. As you can see, literally the entire box is stacked, and then any spare spaces we just filled up with kind of little bits that were hanging around. We want to make the city bright and vibrant, and flowers and the trees cool. It's kind of our vibe. We like colourful things, and there's going to be some colourful kind of scenes. So that was what this kind of pick-a-brick haul was about. So as you can see in this particular box, we literally went heavy on all of the different leaf elements. So some lovely kind of peach coloured leaf elements. Again, the stalks to make the flowers, loads of leaves, some slightly bigger fern elements in green, Shout out to the flamingo I've just built as well. I cannot wait until they release the translucent pink purple element that they've done of this. I did have a look last night and I can't see it anywhere, so I assume it's not been released yet on the pad wall. That is a crazy element. I really enjoyed building that. So again, this box is literally filled with just all them random elements. Looking forward to watching Mrs. L build all them flowers for us. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about this one. So again, more elements, but as you can probably see towards the bottom of there, some amazing stacking going on. There is all sorts of different masonry bricks included. All the colours of masonry bricks they had. They had some 2x2s, some 4x2s. They even had some palisade bricks, so we managed to get a couple of runs of palisade bricks. Again, as you can probably tell, we were getting a little bit tired by this point with the amount of stacking that we'd done, so but we wanted more of these fern elements so that when we start looking at trees, again, our next pick a brick hauls, we're going to be looking for the kind of the trunk elements and stuff like that to do that. And come at me in the comments, but I've never ever seen these elements on a pad wall before. Like your picket fence, almost. Actually, no, they're not your picket fences. Where are my picket fences? There they are, in here somewhere. Hold on. I have definitely, there they go. These, so at the bottom of this is a load of these picket fence elements. I was made up when I saw them. So they're literally all along the bottom of here. We then went for some, I don't even know what these are called, but I'd call them iron gates, even though they're white. But they kind of, I think they're kind of cool. And again, I filled in every little gap and hole that I could with more flowers. So we got some nice yellows, and then we picked up some of those lovely violet lavender flower heads. So that is everything that we picked up on the pick a brick wall over in Las Vegas. If you guys have got a really cool pick a brick wall near you, please let me know, because I guess we might have to make a visit. Anyway, back to the video. And now we're back. So now you've seen what's inside these. Let's just move these out of the way, as if by magic. Oh, that one's out. Oh, spoilers. Okay, so these, I know a lot of people, like me, love the Creator 3-in-1 stuff. Now, as you can probably tell on the top of this, it actually says La Rue. I'm going to do this an injustice, so I apologise to everybody that's French. La Rue Principale, I think it's said, or as we know it in the UK as Main Street. It was kind of sold and advertised as. These are retired in the UK. They retired quite recently. You can't pick them up on the shelves in Lego. You may find them at the odd store, maybe a Discoveryland Centre or something like that. But they were upwards of, I think, 120, 130, 140 pound. They were marked up as $140 on the shelf. We managed to get these for $83 a piece at an official Lego store. If I could have bought the entire shelf, I would have. These are just quite heavy. And when you're already paying for luggage left and right, like I literally paid for a singular suitcase just for this. And then we had another suitcase full of other bits. So, yeah. So I picked up 2 of these. There wasn't any way that I was leaving them there. They are not going to be built as is. These are going to be turned into a modular building for the city, which is going to be a really cool video that I'm looking forward to shooting for you guys. This is one that I think me and Mrs. L are going to work on together. There's a really cool couple of rebrickables. I don't know whether we're going to combine the 2, because you can combine the 2 and make a big kind of corner modular almost. Or you can build individual, slightly smaller modulars, but they will be mills plated and they will be either one big building or 2 slightly smaller buildings. We can add, there is another set, I can't remember the name of it, you can add into the mix of this. I have got the rebrickable instructions, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be our first foray into building a mock as well. It's going to be our first foray into, whilst I know it's still going to, we're going to lean heavy into somebody else's build instructions, we're going to make it our own. We will do some different elements. We will probably add some quirky elements, some hidden bricks for us, because we love a hidden brick. We love that thrill of only the builders get to see a certain element. A bit like with the Natural History Museum that sits right behind me, right there. I didn't build that. Mrs. TTB, Mrs. L built that, but some of the hidden aspects inside that build were fantastic. She did show them me along the way, so I was quite happy about that, because that's normally a builder's privilege. So that is everything that we picked up, guys. Now, I know it doesn't look much, but if you're looking at almost, and bear in mind this is everything in America is plus tax. So whatever price you may have heard me say, it's everything's plus tax. So whilst I know that's a brilliant bargain at $83, you've still got tax to go on top of that, okay? Whilst that's only $20, which is still an unbelievable bargain, 20% tax on that, or I think it's like 20% anyway, isn't it? It's like another $2, so it's $22. So overall, including all the picker bricks, which are these, are absolutely rammed, as you would have already have seen. They are absolutely rammed. Mrs. good old TTB stood there whilst I was filming, stacking to the nth. So everything that we've got on this table in the end cost us $750. Which, when you look at it, I don't think it's too bad. I don't, because these are not cheap. These are $20 each, $17.99, so $20 including the tax. 20, 40, 60, plus I think they're 12. So, you know, you're not far off $75 there before you've even started. These in the States are $27 a piece. $27 plus tax. So you're talking $30, 30, 60, 90, 120. There's another 120 there. So we're at 200 just in front of me. We've got another 160 plus the tax here. So there's another 200. So there's 500. And then this kind of area here, we're looking at 250, including the salt and pepper shakers. So guys, that is everything that we got on our haul in Las Vegas. Yes, I know I didn't buy the D11 dozer, but you know what? It wasn't in a box, so I couldn't buy it, because that has to be in a box. Orlando next, September. Wonder if we can beat this. I'm sure we can. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.